the TCPlayer Max Point Invitational. I'm Frank Lepore, and I'm joined by Craig Wesco, and we have Anthony Arminio on the left, and Paolo Virtuosa on the right. Anthony's playing mono red, Paolo's playing Esper, and this is the semifinals.
This looks like a Thought Cease to open it up. He wants to take that creature before it can deal him a bunch of damage.
I would just tell him no. I wouldn't show him my hand.
Well,
go ahead, take it. How dare you?
the
Oh, look at these bad boys.
well,
What do you take here?
he's going to resolve a 1-drop.
Do you think?
Yeah. We can get that one out of the way. And then he's going to resolve another one on the next turn. If he draws a land, then it'll be 2 of them.
I mean, see, like,
I think he goes with the Swift Spear here.
Yeah, there's a part of me that wants to take Foundry Denizen because of things like Vile Blight, but I mean, yeah,
Which he does not have yet.
This hand looks pretty good.
Looks like Paulo may have mulliganed, and his plan next turn is Anticipate, which is not a very good card in this matchup.
I'm also not thrilled with him having to take 2 from the Thoughtseize.
Well, that's inevitable.
I mean, it's a necessary evil, right? But I mean, that's a free shock, at least.
Yeah, it's not ideal. But here we are, and I think the play that... Yeah, okay, so he takes the Foundry Street. So he is setting himself up, like you said.
For the Bile Blight.
Yeah, if he draws into a Bile Blight off of the Anticipate.
The Bee Blight.
And Anthony just runs all of his Swift Spears out there, then things can go much better for Paulo.
And Paulo actually, much like the modern format, Paulo opened on 17 from Polluted Delta, from Fetchland to Thoughtseize.
Yep.
Look at these little guys. Well,
let's see if we can...
Hero's Downfall, Anticipate, and
he found a land.
Like a Caves of Koilos. He takes the land.
Yep. So that's step 1 of
if he has Bile Blight, he could be in very good shape. I didn't see it either.
No. He can...
He has a Hero's Downfall.
Yeah, so...
Take 1 to prevent 1.
His plan is to just not die, which, given that Anthony is missing land drops, so far it is successful. But the reason he didn't play the 3rd Swift Spear is to play around the Bile Blight.
Yeah, he definitely put Craig on Bile Blight.
Yeah, he put Paulo on Bile Blight.
That's what Yeah, what did I say? You? Man, it's been a long day, guys. That correction was perfecto, good sir.
Anthony's casting the Wild Slash mid-combat to get the extra 2 points of damage in from the prowess triggers, and Paulo kills a creature in response, and he still takes the 2 from the
Wild Slash and from the other Swift Spear. Yeah, so looks like he's playing on the 12. No, he's actually probably at 11 from the Caves of Koilos, having to take damage from the second black.
Yeah, like Anthony is missing land drops, and Paulo is not. So that's kind of the saving grace of this game so far. If Anthony had hit his second land right away, this would be a very different game, I think. Another 1-drop, though. That's not the worst.
And this is funny because it's being played with 1 land from Anthony Arminio.
Yeah.
And this doesn't even touch the fact that he has things like
Yeah, now that he knows Paulo is not on Bile Blight, he just kind of has to get in as much damage as he can, because he knows that we're in territory where Paulo's low on life, but he has all this lands. He can start casting spells. That would have been a perfect turn to cast Ojitai.
And the rough thing is that like Paulo has to keep taking a damage from every time he taps the Caves of Koilos.
Yeah, he has the 6-drop dragon, not the 5-drop.
And Paulo's gonna anticipate. Oh, he's gonna Silumgar Scorn.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, Anthony cannot pay 1 here.
Yep.
Maybe if he had a Simian Spirit Guide to remove,
now the reason that Paulo did not fetch before his draw step is because he wants to draw an island for his 6-drop dragon. He wants to cast the dragon this turn and steal the Swift Spear. So just it's a small play, but that's his reasoning.
That's a good dude.
Yep. Instead he drew Ojitai.
I'm not... We have 2 Stoke the Flames in Anthony's hand, and it doesn't look like Paulo has any counter spells. It looks like he has a Silumgar and 1 other card that he just drew. Ooh, attacking here is so risky.
Well, not attacking is also risky.
This is a...
Because you want to minimize Anthony's draw steps, so the 5 damage is very relevant. And Paulo has to assume that he's going to draw some way to help the board, and he did. He drew Crux of Fate. Or at least he has that as
Jeez.
an option. But he has to take another damage for it too.
And you have to get rid of this, and then you're just dead too. And then you're in Stoke the Flames range. He
Yeah.
didn't take it. He just took a land. He's probably gonna play Silumgar here.
Yeah, and steal the Swift Spear.
That is. Interesting, interesting. I feel like Paolo's doing well for himself. This might have been the.
He's at 5 though. If he can play, oh nope, here's Stoke the Flames
Anthony
range.
can just. No, I think he's gonna Hordeling Outburst, and then obviously.
Yeah, and he can
tap those guys.
That's what I'm saying. He's in Stoke range.
You're gonna get some three Rashad goblins here. Look at those beauties, buttes.
And it looks like he's just gonna do it now. Put Paulo at 1. Because he's got another Stoke in his hand.
I said
too.
you. We know Paolo does not have a counter spell in hand so far. Oh, he does. He has a Silumgar Scorn. That must have been what he drew last turn. That's a real good top deck for Paolo last turn, because we know he didn't put it in his hand from the Anticipate. He took a land there.
Yeah, this is gonna be tough.
He needs 4 blockers.
Paolo's at 1.
Yeah.
He needs 4 blockers, and he has to counter the
the Stoke the Flames.
Yeah. So he can dig, but then
That's
he could find an untapped blue source, so he can then counterspell.
Oh wow, I feel like attacking here
Anticipating.
is super aggro.
Yeah, he's debating, do I want to try to find something off of the Dragon Lord, or do I want to dig into stuff? Now, Anthony's down to 2 cards in hand. That's Hordeling Outburst and Stoke. If he just gets Hordeling Outburst, then Paolo's going to have to find a Wrath effect just to stay alive. And he can't Crux of Fate, because then he just loses to a land. And Stoke the Flames. That might be his best chance to win, though. He might be calculating and thinking, if I can dodge a burn spell, a haste creature, and a untapped land.
How do you think he's dealing with the 2 goblins? Even if he digs through time, he has to have enough mana to cast, and he only has 1 or 2. He has 2 black, including the he can't. Caves is not an option for black mana, so he only has the 2 swamps. I guess he could try to hit a Bile Blight, but that's.
Yeah. So this might be a scenario where he's like.
You got a Hero's Downfall,
chance.
but that's the only removal spell he can cast.
Yeah, but now he has to deal with 2 goblins.
Right, that's what I mean. Like, you can only cast 1 removal spell, and he needs to get rid of 2 guys.
Mm-hmm. Well, if he finds an untapped land, I can't tell if that's a Cruxent. No, it's not. It's a Silumgar Scorn and a Dig Through Time.
He took another. Is that an Anticipate? Yeah, he's gonna Anticipate now, I think. Probably cast use the Caves of Koilos, since it's just a glorified plains. That's actually a colorless land. It's just a Darksteel Citadel.
There's a Bile Blight. Oh, nice. Now he has Scorn and Blight.
Well, that was
perfect.
That was a very good draw.
Yep. So now he can. Yeah, he wants to probably Bile Blight now, so he can't get stoked in response. Now he knows that his opponent's hand is Hordeling Outburst and Stoke the Flames.
Yes.
So he's thinking, do I wait and try to get him to cast the other one?
Yeah. Like, he could very well risk Anthony playing Hordeling Outburst first, then trying to stoke the Flames. But if he stokes first, then you have to counter the stoke.
Paulo also wants to have lethal on the swing back with the prowess trigger. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the dig through time.
Looks like another land, actually.
Alright, the land was helpful because now that guy can block the Swift Spear. The Goblin, give him an extra draw step.
Yeah, and still have mana for...
Oh, he's going with a Hordeling Outburst.
Yeah, but I'd rather have Paolo counter that than the Stoke the Flames, which just kills him.
The question is, does he have to counter this? Paolo's side. He knows that last card is a lethal Stoke the Flames.
Yeah, it's a little scary. What is Paolo's hand? I know I saw Silumgar Scorn. Is it...
Dig through time.
Okay.
You can cast the dig for 2 mana.
Nope, he said I gotta counter that.
Yep.
Go ahead. Dig through time almost guarantees him a
Well, if he
counter.
draws a removal spell off the dig through time, he kills the blocker and then he attacks for lethal with the prowess trigger.
So basically,
So any removal spell is good. Now, it looks like there's a hero's downfall and a Bob Blight. Yep.
yeah. So I think that's gonna be game.
Yep. Now he has it. This is another masterfully played game by Paulo. He dug as far as he needed to dig to find the Bile Blight. He found the Bile Blight and set up a board where he's just like, prowess kill you.
He's like, let me read this for a second. Oh,
That's 11.
it is a 3/5. Yeah. All right. So going to game two. Very, very close game for Anthony Arminio. Like
One
that
life.
was.
Yeah, you see that? Paulo's like, yeah.
So we're gonna check out the backup match. It's we have Chris Fennell and John Dwyer. Chris Fennell is on the right, and John is on the left. This is probably not game one, considering that they only have three. It's game two. Who's? Do we know who's leading? And looks like it might be the Red Green Devotion mirror match. Looks like
Yep.
both John and Chris are playing Red Green Devotion here.
This is correct.
Oh, Genesis Hydra. That's always what you want to see on the tippy top. I would always want to be the guy with the Courser of Crucifix over the Sylvan Carry added.
Yeah, so Chris is up a game, and Courser of Crucifix does present basically you're drawing a threat every turn.
Yeah, and or two lands in a row in rare cases.
Yeah, but you're basically getting lands off the top of your deck. Now, it's not going to be the deciding factor, but it can give you an edge to push you toward the factors that are the relevant
It's
factors.
definitely helpful.
So
That
what the
and
matchup usually
Chris is up a game, so
yeah, what it usually comes down to is who has the Dragon Lord Atarka attacking for 8.
that is a relevant factor.
So you want to basically ramp up to that point on your side and keep the opponent from being able to do that.
Xenagos is a pretty good threat in this matchup because it's very hard, unless you have the Dragon Lord Atarka, it's actually very hard to break through.
Yeah, it allows you to run away with your mana, and whoever gets the runaway mana with the mana advantage
Yeah.
has a huge edge, because then you start Genesis, Hydraing into...
Pelucranosing.
Yeah, if you don't hit your Dragon Lord off of the Hydra, then you're going to find something else that's going to be very relevant. You're
Right.
going to find a Xenagos, a Pelucranos, something. Then you can start getting mana off the Xenagos, off the Nykthos, to cast just huge monsters, go monstrous on the Pelucranos, wipe out the opponent's board.
So you can do a lot of things, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, I got you. Yeah, and like right now,
It's about who can explode in the mid game.
Chris has no problem blocking Courser of Crucifix with Carry added and blocking one of the elves with Satyr, so it's very hard for John to actually deal with this Xenagos, short of like a Pelucranos or an Atarka.
John's mana production, though, it's not going very fast. Chris already has a Xenagos in play, which is step 1 to exploding in the mid game.
It's very efficient, yes.
And
Especially
John is still behind it. I mean, he's got the Courser and the 2 elves, and he's poised to hit 7 mana next turn, and that's kind of the key number for Hornet Queen and
well, even mana
Atarka.
production aside, like the ability to make 2/2s every single turn, like it's just that can be overwhelming.
Well, you make 2/2s, and then those 2/2s help you get mana
Yeah.
later.
To make more 2/2s from something else, like a Whisperwood Elemental, perhaps.
Or just to ramp you into
Or
a
just play
Hydra
an
to
8/8.
get your Dragon Lord.
All solid plans.
Yes.
Yeah, the old wooded foothills on the top.
Looks like he has the Atarka in hand.
It does look like that. It also looks like he has at least 7 mana to cast that bad boy.
Yep. So now the question is, you're almost certainly going to hit the Xenagos.
And one token, you can even kill a token as well.
Yeah.
But then how do you? Yeah, and then it comes down. Then John has the threat that needs an answer. How does Chris deal with an Atarka?
Well, he has Nis on top of his deck. He has another Xenagos in hand. So, and I'm presuming he's at like around 20 life, maybe a little more because of the Courser of Crucifix. So he has some time to mount in offense.
If the life totals on the pad are correct, it looks like Chris is at 18, John is at 21,
Yeah.
which makes sense. Okay, it looks like Paolo's mulliganing on our main table, so we're going to give them a little bit
And there's a
longer.
Hornet Queen. There's something to do with all this mana.
That's true. And it
So
also
Chris has
beats
his
a target, beats a Tarka in a heads up fight.
Nissa also has another ability that Chris has 3 forests in play, and it looks like there's a fetch land. There's another forest, so he could have 4 forests in play. So he can kind of do a lot of stuff this turn. He
Well,
has quite a
Tarka
bit
could
of
just
mana.
swing in and kill Nissa, though.
He has Ugin though.
In his hand?
Looks that way, yeah.
Interesting. There he is, right at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Oh,
So he's at 7 mana right now, which is a little awkward, I guess.
that is a little awkward. We're one shy, good sir. He
He's got
also
Hornet Queen on top.
casting Ugin, and then to deal with a Tarka, you'd have to -7 Ugin, which kills it immediately. So it gets rid of practically, yeah, literally everything on the board that is not land. We're going to head back over to the Paolo Vitor Damarosa and Anthony Arminio match right now. It looks like they are commencing battles.
Yep, and Paulo Mulligan, so he's on 6 cards. He's on the draw.
These are factors that reward Anthony Arminio, especially when he has a 1-drop. Looks like he has two more 1-drops. I think I saw Zergo Bellstriker and or that might be a Rending Volley actually. We did see another Founder Street Denizen.
Rending Volley, an efficient way to deal with Dragon Lord Ojitai.
Yes, not so much Silumgar, but Lightning Berserker.
Dash, wow. Oh, we just cast it. He didn't dash.
Interesting.
Okay.
Would you have dashed that or just cast it?
Well, dashing works especially well.
With both your Founder Street Denizens.
Yes, because you can keep giving them
Plus
+1.
plus. Yeah.
And it also plays around Drown in Sorrow.
That is correct.
Which is, I'm assuming, one of the cards
It is in Paolo's hand right now.
Yeah, he has 3 Drown in Sorrows in his sideboard. This line deals more immediate damage. What is this card he's casting?
That's Dragon Fodder.
Dragon Fodder, okay. So he's representing a lot of damage.
Paolo's at 16. He took 3 from the Founder Street Denizen and 1
That's
from
8
his Polluted
damage.
Delta.
So Anthony's representing an attack for 8. So that'll put Paulo down
That's half
to...
Paolo's life, but he's also getting rid of about 4 cards with the Drown in Sorrow, which is going to be huge.
Now he's deciding which one to get. An island or a swamp.
That's one of the other reasons that dashing the Lightning Berserker is preferable. Because it actually would have been 10 damage this turn, because the Founder Street Denizens would have each been 4. Oh no, it would have been 9, I guess. And Lightning Berserker would have been 1 more. So 8 damage. Bile Blight on those guys. Take 2. Oh man, this is a great draw for
Yeah,
Paolo.
he wants to not take 6 damage.
You definitely don't want to do that, yes. And Drown in Sorrow.
Yeah, so basically the Bile Blight there, Paulo just said, I'm going to gain 6 life.
Yes.
That's what this Bile Blight's going to do for me.
That's more than reasonable.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of players actually wouldn't do that because they know Drown in Sorrow is coming. So they're like, I'll just wait. I can Drown in Sorrow.
Yeah, but I mean, look at this. He's already pointing burn spells.
Oh, I agree. I'm not disagreeing. I'm
Yeah.
just saying I know a lot of players who do that because they're going to say, well, they're going to die anyway next turn.
I know a lot of players that don't win with this deck as much as Paulo.
Well said. Well said.
Paulo up to 11.
Look at that Dismal Backwater. He's gained 1,000,000 life off that thing.
Yep. We saw Adrian with his Radiant Fountains last
Yes,
match.
those can be pretty relevant.
Boom, 12. It's like a whole card in this matchup.
Back down to 9.
His lands have basically
Invalidated it.
2/3 of
Yeah.
the Lightning Strike. One more. I guess he also fetched, so.
Oh, Paolo's at 6 though. He's got to start countering some burn spells. Where's these hasty creatures? We need some dashers right now.
Paulo's like, I need some dragons.
Yeah.
How about some white mana too?
That's true. Paolo has no white mana right now.
But he's got Foul Tongue Invocation. He has a dragon that'll be good. Yeah, he's going to downfall here.
Would you just dash this guy out, you think? Or would you actually just hardcast it?
He's going to die either way.
But maybe, I mean, like, if Paolo didn't have the The hero's not flying. He hit a top deck it. Like you're
All
gonna get
right,
a hit
there's
in
the
there.
dig through time. That's the important card. Now he's going to. He wants a dragon so he can gain 4 life off the Foul Tongue invocation.
That's gonna be pretty good. I can't imagine. I feel like once that happens, this game is
He
gonna be a
still doesn't have
little out
white
of
mana though,
reach.
so if it's Ojutai, he won't be. He still wants it, but he just won't be able to cast it yet.
Oh, put him to 2.
Jeez, probably not cracking that delta for a while.
I mean,
It's a Tasigur.
he could get a just a white source and
The
a
Flooded
dragon.
Strand.
There is no dragon
There's
in
no
those top
dragon.
8 in
It's
those top
Tasigur and a
7.
Flooded Strand, I think is what he's going for.
Wow. See,
Tasigur and no, it's Tasigur and Ultimate Price, I think.
game 1 I would have thought
Silence of
Anthony
Believers.
Armenia would have come through, and this
Foul
game
Blight.
I would have actually thought Paolo would have come through, but it looks like Anthony might pick it up. He said Paolo's a 2.
Yeah, he's deciding between Bile Blight and Ultimate Price. He's going with Ultimate Price. Bile Blight can kill like a Hordling Outburst, and Ultimate Price, it can kill. What can it kill that
I don't think
Bile
there's
Blight can't kill?
in this deck. I feel like I can kill everything that
Well, he
Bob
saw
kills.
his list.
There's no big creatures. There's no like.
I guess a Swift Spear with like triggers and
Oh
stuff.
wait, Wild Slash
Wow.
to the face does it.
Just Paulo whiffs on the dig through time,
Wow.
and Anthony just burns him out.
Jeez.
Paulo using a Bile Blight to gain 6 life, essentially.
After that Drown Sire, I
and
thought
then
this game
he
was
still
over.
burned him out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just Paulo's up
And
14.
he gained 2 life from the Dismal Backwaters.
Yep.
That's
Anthony's
ridiculous.
just like, yep, I'll just throw 16 points of burn at
He's
you.
like, nah, bro, I got this. All right, we're gonna check out the Chris Fennell match again. Chris Fennell and John Dwyer on the back table. The Devotion on Devotion match. Wow, what even happened here?
Well, it looks like, I'm guessing he Ugined the board away, and then drew his Hornet Queen.
Where did Ugin go? He's not in the graveyard. What if you plus Ugin and then -8 Ugin? Does he exile himself? No,
No, it's colorless.
It's colorless. Okay. Whew. But you could plus Ugin and then exile Nicol Bolas, Planeswalker.
Yes,
Yeah.
that could be a thing that happens.
But Nicol Bolas can destroy Ugin too. Gosh, man, that's such a good battle. It's a tale as old as time, Craig.
The only tails I know are on the back of Brimaz.
Kitty cat tales. There's a lot of cats in Standard. You got Rakshasa Death Dealer, Fleeceman Lion, Brimaz.
You ain't lying.
Craig Wesco, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be here all week.
So these Rashad tokens on the right, there's insects and there's satyrs, and on the left, they're all insects.
You can tell because of the bee
So-
hat.
Yeah. So we have an interesting situation. We have 4/4 tramplers from Nissa, which is like that forest with the die on 4 on it. And then we have 2/2s. We have 1/1 flying death touch. A lot of stuff going on here.
There's a lot of stuff going on here.
Yeah. I think that Chris is protecting his planeswalkers with the insect tokens. And basically, John is looking like, I need to find, say, a Dragon Lord Atarka to kill all the flyers so I can send all my bees at the planeswalkers. I think that's the line that he's ideally hoping for. Just draw the Atarka. But it could happen next turn. He's got a fetch land in play, so even though there's a land on top of his deck, that's not what he'll be drawing, because he's going to sack the fetch land before he draws.
Yeah, that's one of the good things about having a fetch land in play with Courser of Crufix.
Mm-hmm.
You can easily just get a new draw if you don't like it.
And it's a reason to not just crack your fetch.
Yes, it's definitely a reason
Ordinarily,
to keep them
you
around.
would want to thin your library of the land when you don't want it, but when you have Courser in your deck, it's better to leave it in play uncracked so that when you draw the Courser, you'll know whether there's a land on top,
Yeah.
whether it's a card you want on top. You can shuffle it away if it's like an Elvish Mystic or a a land that you don't want.
Sylvan carry added
Yep.
on turn 12.
Now Chris is gonna pull ahead real fast in this game
Oh,
if John
we're
doesn't
gonna.
draw something.
Well, that may be, but we're gonna check out Paolo and Anthony Arminio right now
All right. So game 3, Paulo is
on the play
yep
again. We got
1-1.
we got a little Foundry Street denizen, a gobo as they're often referred to.
Mhm.
This guy being dashed, I can never tell. He's so dashing.
So the interesting thing about the red deck, especially when there's a Foundry Street Denizen in play, it's going to play all its creatures pre-combat.
Yeah,
Because
which
it
is
wants to get
very
the
interesting.
bonuses. Yeah, whether it's a dashed creature, you want it pre-combat. Whether it's a creature to pump the denizen, you want it pre-combat. So whenever the red deck enters into the combat phase, Paulo's going to know what's going on. So it's like, now's the time to use the removal spell. You don't have to wait till the end step, see what they
Yes,
play post-combat, things like that. So we're going to see Paulo using his removal spells in combat
presumably
each time.
Bile Blight this turn.
Which do you kill?
That's a good question. I mean, Lightning Mauler can get pumped by mana, and Foundry Street Denizen can get pumped by creatures. So yeah, probably Lightning Mauler. I think he's guaranteed to have mana, but he's not guaranteed to have. Oh, it was a dash.
Mm-hmm. And Paulo elects not to kill either creature.
And
He just takes the damage.
knowing Paolo has Drown and Sorrow might have contributed to him dashing that guy there.
Mm-hmm.
And let's try again, he says. This guy is...
Paulo does have the Foul Tongues in hand, and I don't know. I guess he doesn't have a dragon yet.
No, this guy's definitely in Bile Blitten. That's not even a term. Bile Blitten, I said.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, there it is. And Paolo took one to do that, so...
Yeah, so he takes 3 this turn. Paulo really wants the second blue off of the delta.
I feel like Paolo should be at 8. Or not 8, 12 rather. He took... Maybe it's 13. 1, 2, 3... Yeah, he took 7, that's fine. He took 4 on turn 2, 2 from each creature.
I'm interested to see how Paulo sideboarded.
Took 2 from the Foundry Street and then
because
1 from the Caves of Koilos.
The dragons are bad in the matchup just because they cost so much.
Yeah.
But they turn on his Foul Tongues, which then become one of his best cards in the matchup.
And also the deck doesn't have many threats outside of the dragon, so it's more difficult. It's harder to win when you don't have the dragons in the deck because then you have to play a longer game.
You have Tassigurs, and you can keep in the Ojutais. So he might have brought out like the Dragon Lord Silumgar or something.
That makes sense. Fenella's up 2-0 on the back table. We might see a sweep there. Ooh, another Lightning Mauler. Looks like a Silumgar Scorn and a Foul Tongue Invocation and no dragons to turn these things on. Another Bile Blight.
You know what dragons do this matchup, right?
Tell me.
They cause the match to drag on.
Oh my gosh. Wah, wah. You got Fozzie over here in the booth with us today, guys. Oh, man.
There's a life gain land, right?
Yep, that is not a
Dismal
dragon, though. Paolo's at 9, which is not that healthy. Here comes the Hordling Outburst. Look at that promo Hordling Outburst, Craig.
Get that at F&M. Actually, no. Actually, it's Frostwalker. I
Yeah,
won F&M Friday. I got a bunch of Frostwalkers.
They gave you a bunch. So like, here,
Yeah.
take a handful.
Yeah, it was like 7 of them or something.
You're
Next month is Path to Exile. The month after that is Serum Visions.
And you literally, and the month before was Hordling Outburst, I think.
Yeah.
No, it was Abzan Beastmaster, maybe. Look,
So-
the point
so
is, you're in a bad month.
What you're saying is I won the lottery. I got the Frostwalkers.
Well, no, because it's not a white creature.
So it looks like Paulo's setting up a dig through time. And he's really hoping to find a dragon. But if this result, he really wants to find a Drown in Sorrow and a dragon. Because then he drowns away all the tokens, and then he Foul Tongues the next thing and gains life.
I'll take 4. Oh my, that's like that might as well be a million. Whoa! Oh, is this the game? Stoke you wild slash you?
Jeez.
What? What?
All right, Anthony up 2-1.
Get out of here!
These players drew into the top 8 in the final round.
This is the point of the match where Anthony Arminio's like, yeah, maybe you guys should have been covering my matches a little more frequently.
Well, here you go.
And we're like, Anthony, maybe you're right.
You want to win this tournament? You got to beat one of the best players ever to play the game.
Yeah, that's true.
I have him around
Paolo's a
number
heck of
3
an
or
end
4.
boss. Really?
Yeah, definitely the top 5, I think, ever to play the game.
Wow, that's a high.
I mean, Kai and John are kind of undisputed 1 and 2.
Well, I would be third, right? And then Paolo would be right behind me, you think?
Something like that, yeah, Frank.
That's what I thought. I knew it. That's all right. So we're checking out John Dwyer on the left. We're in game 3 here. Chris Fennell, Pro Tour top 8 competitor on the right. And Chris is up 2-0 against John. Looks like he's got the red green Roshan mirror match down on lockdown.
Yep. A pretty standard opening. Just play some mana creatures in the early turns.
So what do we think this is? Is this a Rattleclaw Mystic, or does John have any? He does have Death Mist Raptors, but I think he just played Death Mist Raptor face up here. So I would put my money on that being a Rattleclaw Mystic.
That is the more likely of the two, I think.
Or he's trying to bait out a removal spell.
What removal?
Yeah, you're right. This is green red devotion mirror match. They can't actually interact with creatures.
Yeah, the only removal spell is like
Tarka.
deal like 2 damage instead of 3.
What is that?
Yeah, just Dragon Lord Atarka.
Oh,
right?
yes,
like
yes,
you can
yes.
kill it for 2 instead of 3. And it dies to a Satyr token. So yeah, that would almost certainly be a Rattleclaw Mystic.
Yeah, Xenagos is just such a trump in this matchup because, like we just said, it's just real hard to deal damage.
Yep. And there's not a lot of evasion either. There's just the Hornet Queen, the dragons, and then there's the trample off of Nissa tokens. That's Seth Manfield laughing in the background.
I knew it was
if you can
Seth.
hear
I'm
him.
like, Seth has a very distinct laugh. I was like, that's my boy Seth Manfield in the background.
Yep, TCGPlayer author.
Just like you and me.
Yep. It's like we planned it.
It's like we're the same people. Man, that Seth laugh is killing me right now. Yeah, so Chris still has to make a token this turn.
Well,
this is a Whispered Elemental?
He could produce 5 mana. 6 mana. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
That's what he's doing. There's 5. Looks like old Wispy. This is a real good position for Chris. Because not only Paolo's mulliganing in game 4, Craig. Game 4. Craig, do you understand? So yeah, like the fact that Whisperwood's making a token every turn is so good for Xenagos' +1 ability. So good. That's an extra mana every turn.
And it looks like John is just sitting on a bunch of forests and a Caryatid. He's got a Rattleclaw. Oh, he's got a Genesis
Hydra. Does have a
Hydra.
Genesis Hydra. That's old
right.
Jenny.
So that would be Bruce 3, 6, 7, 8 mana. So he wants to do it for 7 so he can hit Dragon Lord Atarka.
Assuming that is a Rattleclaw Mystic, which I think we're safe to assume.
Yeah. He's got another one in his hand, so he might set up an even bigger one next turn, or he might figure, I can't wait.
Yeah, I don't think you can wait here.
Oh, Rattleclaw Mystic.
Who saw that coming? Oh,
Ugin.
we didn't see that one either.
Wow. Well, it can't kill the Manifest.
That's true.
It can kill everything else, though.
It can definitely kill. But then also, it's at 2, and now John loses all his creatures and supplement mana.
Yeah, so now
this is...
Chris can kill the Ugin with the Manifest.
We're going to head on over to the Paolo match again. I think Paolo mulliganed to 6. And Mono Red also mulliganed to 6. So it's a
fair fight.
Yeah, we're in a fair fight here.
And Paulo starts up a life, and then he's going to go down a life with the Flooded Strand.
Here we go. This looks like a... Yep. Play this guy. Is it good?
Is this guy going to get dashed
Dash
here?
this guy.
It's a dashing young fellow.
He is a dashing young gentleman. Uh-oh.
Paula's
Paula's.
like, yeah, that's enough of that.
I've had enough of your shenanigans, good sir.
That's one creature too
It's
many.
too bad dashing doesn't use is casting it. Then he could just if it was just an ability, you could just play it.
Scorn.
Yeah, I imagine that lightning mauler marauder
Scorn on the
creature
cob.
is scorn on the cob. Oof. Hashtag scorn on the cob.
Oh, and there's the Drown in Sorrow. That'll happen next turn. Goes up to 18.
Yeah, but if Anthony has like a burn spell that he can play in response, then
He'll probably do it main phase to pump the Swift Spear. He's probably not going to wait to protect it.
yeah, I think I'd be terrified of Drown in Sorrow if I was Anthony.
He wasn't last game.
He wasn't last game, you're right. But it also paid off for him. He also had a ton of burn that game.
So this is an attack for 5.
Puts the Paladin to 13.
Yep.
And we're also looking
And
at...
he can reload.
Yeah, he can reload. He's got a bunch of dudes.
Yep.
Oh, anticipate. I did not anticipate that, you might say.
Did you come up with that one yourself, Frank?
I've never heard anyone say that before. So, yes. Haha.
Got more GG's Lives tokens.
Yeah, I asked Rashad why the Goblin token specifically has his eyes covered, and Rashad was like, I don't know. And I was like, wise words.
Yeah, here's
Drown
in Sorrow.
Even those Rashads go away. It's real sad.
Now he gets to play a tap land and scry. That one's good. First one bottom, second one top. So he likes what he's drawing next turn.
Are we gonna go to a 2-2? Are we gonna go to a game 5?
It's way too early for that.
Craig, this game's over. We're done, Craig.
Didn't we think that about game 2?
Yes, and that's why Magic is wonderful. Anything can happen.
Now he's deciding, who do I dash, who do I cast? That's Anthony's thinking right now.
We should start a game show called Who Do I Dash, Who Do I Cast?
Yeah.
I can't dash that guy. Easy choice.
Yeah.
Alright, cast that guy. Do we know if Paolo has another Drown in Sorrow? I don't
No, but he finally has a dragon for once in his life.
First time. You heard it here first, folks. First time Paolo has ever had a dragon in his life.
In this match, he hasn't seen a
Oh,
dragon
this
since
is
game 1,
Stoke
right?
the Flames in the old Handaruski.
He's died with Foul-Tongue Invocations in his hand last game.
Anthony's in an awkward position. He can't really attack into this guy, but he
Speaking
also
of
doesn't have a
Foul-Tongue.
third mana for the Hordling Outburst.
Boom. Dynamite.
That's not good.
See, now, the reason he casts it here is because he can't stoke the Ojutai.
Right. It's very
He
good.
loses a creature. Very heads-up play by Paulo. Now he has to stoke the face in response.
So
and
break
Paulo
even.
just gains it right back.
Yeah.
And now Paulo can hit him with the Ojutai.
Craig, are we going to see a game 5 here?
Still too early.
Dang it. I'm getting there, though. We're getting closer.
Yes, we are getting closer.
All right, that's all I want.
And he finds Anticipate and 2 downfalls. He's already got 1 downfall.
Do you think he anticipated drawing those cards?
Yeah. Have you made that joke before?
I've never heard it before. No, I think this is his first time.
Oh,
Oof,
and Tassiger,
that's very good.
leaving the Foul Tongue in the graveyard.
Because just in case.
Yep.
I would.
Well, I mean, just in case he activates
Yeah,
it.
right. I mean, to be fair, this is not a match where you may have 4 extra mana just hanging out to activate, but look at
Alright,
all these
now-
creaches.
Yeah, things are not going so well for Anthony at this point.
I'm gonna ask you again, Craig.
He could have held on to that Stoke the Flames, and that would potentially keep Paulo from being able to attack with the Ojutai the next turn. Either line is a really difficult line for him to take, though. I hope we have a game 5.
And the thing about a game 5 is, Anthony would presumably be on the play here. No, definitely be on the play
Yeah.
if we have a game 5. So
Ooh, Paulo deciding how aggressive he wants to get here.
he's got to put him on some kind of clock.
Yep.
And he's at 13, which is
Does
relatively
he have a
healthy.
Drown in Sorrow? No. What does he have? Oh, he has a downfall. That's what he's on. Yeah, he's probably thinking, I'm at a high enough life total. I'm not dying. So I just want to close out this game before Anthony can draw, like 3 burn spells in a row.
Worth noting that over the weekend I saw both you and Marshall lean to the side of the monitor to get a better view at the hands.
Yep, I called him out on that.
Like, I was like, that doesn't work like that, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I wasn't doing that. Oh yes, you were. Oh yes, you were. Oh, he attacked with the Tasker and the Argentine. That's so aggressive.
Yeah, well, if Anthony blocks, then he's not only losing an attacker, he's also losing a way to convoke Stoke the Flames. And so Anthony's not really in a position to block, so he just takes 9, and that takes off like 2 draw steps.
One of our newer authors, JD and Clomparns, she actually wrote a mono red article this week about when you should be attacking against mono red. And
Paulo must have read it.
you also, our own Craig Wesco, also wrote an article about the top 10 ways, top 10 situations where you should be attacking. And this, what do you think? Do you think this is one of them for Paulo?
Yeah, well, the situation I identified was when you're ahead in the race,
Yeah.
and this would be a scenario where he is ahead in the race.
Chumpsies, go to 1. Yeah, I think we're too far ahead here for now. Who's at 1 life? Paolo says. Don't quote him on that. I'm not sure if he said that. I don't think there's any card he could have drawn here that would. Josh and the our assistant producer Josh just said Atarka's command. I'm not sure if that would that do it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I think you need one more.
Threaten, untap, Ojitai, attack, draw. I don't know.
Yeah, that would have been good. I wonder if he has any threatens. Active treason, if you will. So, going to game 5 against
Wow, this is exciting.
Red. And this is our. Do we know if this is game 3 still? Same game? Yes,
Yep.
you can tell the.
Fennell is up 2
There's-
games to nothing.
Where's that Ugin?
It died to the manifest
But
attack.
it's not in the graveyard.
Yeah, it is. It's between the
It
wooded
is. It's between
foothills
the
and
wooded foothills and the Sylvan Caryatid. I'm getting tired of your sass, Wesco.
Yep, that's game.
Chris Fennell proceeds to the finals. Wow, what a sweep.
Yeah, that matchup's all about who has the dragon, and Chris had the dragon. So.
I used to play a game called Who Has the Dragon.
Oh yeah, is that a game?
And yeah, maybe.
I played a game with dice that had dragons.
Was
Dragon Slayer.
what was it called? Dragon Slayer? That was the
Yeah.
name of it?
It's a pretty good game.
Isn't there also a game called Dragon's Dice?
I think so, but it's not that game.
I'm not saying it's that game. Gosh. Oh man, I can't wait for this game 5. It seems like it's gonna be real exciting.
So we have one platinum level pro in the finals.
Yes.
Chris Fennell. Let's see if we can have another platinum pro.
And a Hall of Famer.
Damagerosa
That'd be
in
nice.
the finals.
When are you gonna get in the Hall of Fame? Out of curiosity.
It's not up to me.
I feel like we're real close though. I get a vote. I can use it if you want.
I mean, I'm just gonna keep playing Magic to the best of my ability.
What do you give me for my vote?
Nothing.
These are jokes, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not actually bribing Craig Wesco.
So there's Paulo and Chris both have pro player cards. That they I know Chris in particular loves to hand them out.
Chris
at
Fennell
every
has his own pro
opportunity.
player card?
Yep.
That's funny. I did not
Every
know that.
platinum level pro from last year got one.
It's funny how they do that. Sometimes they do them and sometimes they don't. It's very.
Yep. If I make platinum, they don't, and if I don't make platinum, they do.
That's the system,
been the
yeah.
trend so far.
They're like, hey guys, you want to make new cards? Did Craig make it? No. Yeah, let's make some
Yeah.
new platinum cards.
It's okay. I have a token.
That's true. You do. I still use those tokens.
Yeah. Voice of Resurgence.
I use you're my elemental of choice.
You're
some of
my
cute-
soldier of choice.
Man, this is a bromance right here for the ages.
I use a lot of soldiers.
I bet you do actually. That's probably your.
So this is it. Game.
That's your creature
I
type
was
of
about to say
choice.
game 7. Game 5.
This isn't hockey, Craig.
Yeah. Up mulligan again. Both of them
Oh
mulliganing.
man.
It's fair. Go
It
to
is
6.
fair. Actually, that makes for a better game than if neither of them mulliganed, or if only one of them mulliganed, rather.
Yeah.
Because obviously neither of them mulliganing, and that's a great game.
Mono Red versus Esper Dragons. This has been a tier 1 matchup since the set came out, right? Dragons
Yeah.
of Tarkir. just right
Dragons.
out of the
Yeah,
gates. These
and
were
this, not this exact version, but a red deck did win Pro Tour Dragons of Tarkir, so
yep.
there's definitely powerful red cards in this set.
And both Paulo Vitor and Josh Utter-Layton finished in the top 16 with Esper Dragons at that Pro Tour.
Oh yeah, and there's no contesting that Esper is a very
Yeah.
powerful control deck in this
They
format.
went 9-1 and 8-2, I think, respectively.
I also hear Paolo's
Josh
done
9 and
pretty well
1.
with the deck too.
Yep. I think Paulo's had more success with this deck than anyone else on the planet.
I mean, he won the Grand Prix in South America, right? Like,
Yeah, and he top 4 Grand Prix Krakow with it,
it's
and
just
he top
ridiculous.
16 the Pro Tour with it, and now he's in the
Is
semifinals
that it?
with it. Has he ever not done well with it? That's the better
Well, I
question.
mean,
Like, did he take it to F&M and not win or something?
yeah, I imagine he did.
Which unlikely. But
Which makes it real amateurish.
when was the last time you played F&M, Frank?
2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm a
Yeah.
regular FNMer. I like
played 2
FNM.
days ago.
I know. I saw pictures of you. I was like, oh, that's sweet, Greg and Seth and.
Yep. Decided to support the local store in Las Vegas while I'm here.
And then you cleaned house.
I did.
Who were you in the finals with? I remember.
Lauren Nolan.
You and Lauren Nolan in the finals. That's a finals for the ages at the FNM.
All right, so Paulo looking like he's got lands and dragons, but that's all he's got. He's got 2 Scrylands, I believe. So Scrylands will presumably help him find the interactive spells that he needs to stay in the game.
Looks like Anthony's on 1 land here, which is unfortunate.
And there's
Does have 2
a
1-drops though.
Silumgar scoring. So he has the dragon. This is a hard counterspell. He's going to play an on-top blue source.
He is under the gun
turn.
here though.
Is Anthony missing his land? Ooh, Anthony misses his land drop.
He
has pressure.
He has a lightning mauler in hand though, so he does have things to play in the first 3 turns.
So now Paulo can Silumgar Scorn or Ultimate Price. He has drawn a price.
That's a dasher.
This is so rough. If he had a Drown in Sorrow in hand, this would be such an easy play, but he doesn't. So he has to do some math, figure, do I use my counterspell here?
Or do I just kill someone that's already here?
The counterspell is
He said,
less
"All right."
valuable. It's going to be more valuable later in the game whenever he's in burn range. He can counter a burn spell or a creature. Whereas now, the
Ultimate Price is just
ultimate
gonna kill a
price, yeah. I mean, I guess he figures he's not tapping out ever on his turn, so it might as well be a removal spell. This isn't like the red-green deck where they can play the +6/+6 Delve card, become immense.
guy. That is a good card.
Yeah, that's a scenario where you would rather have the
Oh man,
removal spell.
I don't want to be presumptuous, but this is not looking great for Anthony with
Well,
1 land and a bunch of 2
Paulo's
and 3 mana.
not out of the water yet.
Is that the
He
same?
does have an island in play, but he's not out of the water.
Okay.
He's still not revealing that dragon. He doesn't need to. 4 spikes good enough.
It's a plan out of the woods, right?
Yeah, he can play Dig Through Time on end step now after he cracks the fetch land.
Oh, that's an Eidolon Eidolon of the Great Revel.
Yeah, another card that costs 2 mana, unfortunately.
That is 1 more than he has.
And this is, yep, he's out of creatures now, too. So he's resorted to the plan of burn you to trigger prowess. Paulo is at 8 now.
Yeah,
that's pretty low.
That is real low.
We've seen him get burned out from 16 earlier in the match.
That was also
and
very
we
efficient.
know Anthony doesn't have any lands in hand, so they're all spells. So Paulo has to keep that in mind.
Digging through time.
Let's see if he can find a way.
Well, time has all the answers, Craig. It also heals all, which is very helpful for... Are those
There's
2 foul tongues?
2 foul tongues.
Yeah, I would just go with the 8 life, probably.
Yeah, that's what he
And
does.
Paolo agrees.
Okay. That's a lot of breathing room. Now he gets to play Ojitai here, and then he can just foul tongue twice.
I feel like this game might have just ended on that turn.
That was huge. The dig through time and a double foul tongue was very big. So he's playing
That's
Impact Tremors?
interesting.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's whenever a creature enters the battlefield under Anthony Arminio's control, he gets to deal 1
Okay.
damage to target creature or player.
So now Paulo says, let's close this out in 4 turns.
I don't think it's happening.
He kept the 6 mana dragon in, so he did not take him out.
And he could just go, actually,
He's probably
Land.
going to do it main
Yeah, I think
phase.
he just Silumgar here.
Oh, yep. He decides to do it. Yep. So now Anthony's in a position where he has his lands now, and now he has to try to cast as many spells as he can.
Yeah, I mean, like he's.
The Cordling Outburst is kind of good here, but just like too late.
The problem is the 8 life that Paolo's able to gain.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
It's just.
He doesn't know what Paulo's hand is, so in his mind, he's probably thinking,
I
I
can
need to
probably
deal
deal 8.
8
I can be
before.
alright. Yeah.
Well, Paulo's hitting him for 8 in the air each turn.
Right.
So on board, he's dead in 2 turns. He has 1 turn after this to kill Paulo.
Yeah.
And Paulo has gained 8.
Yeah.
But even without that, Anthony's thinking, how do I win this game just on board?
The thing is, none of these creatures can actually attack either. See, the Eidolon is interesting because now the Foul Tongue Invocation's only getting 2. So he goes back up to 10. Paolo loses both guys. I don't think Paolo can deal 10 damage, though.
Well,
or not Paolo. I think Anthony. I don't think Anthony can deal 10
he's attacking
damage.
For 11 if he attacks with everyone. He could play land, Hordling Outburst, deal you 3, put you to 7. Play like a creature, put you to 6, and then stoke the flames, the Ojutai when it attacks to stay alive.
I mean, it's a lofty proposition.
I think that's maybe the only line I can think of.
Oh, ultimate price first. Take 2, go to 4.
And now he Foul Tongues.
Yeah, so either way, you're only going to gain 4 life, whether you double Foul Tongue with Eidolon out or whether you ultimate price then Foul Tongue. So Paolo goes back up to 8.
Yeah, and he'd rather have the Foul Tongue in hand.
Yes, because that's another 4 life.
Yeah, and now Paulo's just going to play super conservatively here, I think, because there's no reason to. I mean, he's probably thinking, what could possibly go wrong? He's at 8.
I think you definitely hit with the...
He could, like I said, it's the Hordling Outburst, 1 mana creature, Stoke the Flames, that's 8 damage.
He also has to have another land, though.
Yeah. So he has to go land...
Hordling Outburst, Stoke the Flames. Those would have to be...
Land, Hordling Outburst, Stoke the Flames, 1... Yeah, okay, if he has 2 cards in hand, that's too many cards.
He has to draw one of them.
No.
What do you mean?
Because he has 2 in hand, that has to be like Stoke the Flames, Hordling Outburst, and he has to draw the 4th land and the 1-drop. So he can't do it with 2 cards in hand.
You're right. He needs 4 cards.
Paul is just thinking, what level of being conservative do I need to be?
I think you just think with those 2, because he takes 8, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, it's 3 damage. 7, so it's 3 damage from the Swift Spear. So clearly, it's just better to leave the 3/5 back.
Yeah, and then it's just a 2-turn clock. He just wins next turn with Ojutai or Silumgar. So.
And he draws a Scorn. Okay. So this is it. Anthony has.
And he goes to 9. That even that would have messed up our math.
Anthony's got to pull rabbit out of a hat.
I don't think there's a hat.
There's a Hordling Outburst. That's a start.
Take 3.
But now, that's 8 damage in the air.
Yeah, he just turned them sideways, and then we have
This is it.
Wow, Paolo Vito Damarosa and Chris Fennell in the finals. That is amazing.
That's like first word out of Chris's mouth. Probably want to split.
You want to chop? Oh man, this is going to be a sick finals match.
Well, I think that's about it for me. I think Marshall's going to come back in to do the finals.
Craig is going to take off. Wait till the. Welcome back, guys. I'm Frank Lepore. I'm here with Craig Wesco. We just watched Paolo Vitor Damarosa win in game